Welcome to Fans First, a sports podcast where your voice matters most. Hosted by Hall of Fame sportscaster Jim Powell. This is the show that puts fans at the heart of the conversation. Whether you're cheering in the stands, screaming at the TV, or debating with friends about the latest trades, Fans First is here to amplify your thoughts, your insights, and your love for the game.
Hello and welcome to the very first edition of our very first podcast episode of Fans First, a sports podcast. My name is Jim Powell. I'm honored to be your host in this venture, and we've got a whole team of people who've been working together for a long time to try to make this thing possible. And sure enough, here we are. So a lot of people, most of you won't really have any idea what we're planning to do with the podcast. So let me fill you in a little bit on some of our plans. Number one, we are not going to be specific to certain parts of the country. We're going to be specific to whatever sport is the hottest, whatever the stories are the biggest that we can talk about with our learned guests. I have called games in virtually every sport. I've loved all the sports myself since I was a little kid, just like a lot, I'm sure, of you. And as a consequence, I feel like I know a lot, but I also understand that whatever sport I love, there's always somebody who has a lot more expertise even than I do. So what we plan to do is to bring guests in that can add to the conversation from their perspective and their experience to talk about the sport of the day that we're featuring. In today's case, for the first episode, we're going to be featuring Tony Barnhart, who is Mr. College Football, because the college football season is just about to kick off. And as a consequence, we want to be right on top of it. That Georgia-Clemson game, along with Georgia Tech and Florida State and others coming up in that first Saturday. So that's just an example. Every time you tune in, you're going to get a different approach on perhaps a different subject, even if it's slightly from the previous one. We plan to have a lot of interactivity with you, the fans. We have one fan that's going to be sending a submission with a question and opinion about college football, and he'll get his chance to say something, and then after he finishes, then I'll get my chance to say what I feel about his opinion. But we're going to do that on a regular basis, either via emails that you send to us, audio tracks. You can record things, voice memos on your phone, et cetera, and send them to us. It's going to get easier and easier to do this inactivity when our website is fully up and running. It's not quite there yet, but soon will be. So that's kind of the approach of the show. And we hope you like it. It should be diverse, it should be ever-changing, and it should be knowledgeable and fun. Speaking of fun, we've got a couple of features I want you to look out for. One is, with our typical guests, we're going to get into long-form discussions about them, their experience, and their thoughts about their sport of expertise. We're also going to have fans who are going to submit things to talk about their opinions, et cetera, like I already mentioned, in a feature called Get Off My Lawn, where that fan gets a chance to give his opinion, and then I get a chance to rebut or agree with that opinion, with the possibility that if the opinion is way off base, that you may be asked to get off my lawn, because I'm old enough now to be a little cranky sometimes, so we thought that was perfect.
Stay tuned, stay passionate, and keep celebrating the sport you love. Visit us at fansfirstpodcast.com to explore more. Sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive updates, and follow the podcast on social media to join our growing community of sports enthusiasts. Your voice matters to us, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts and connect with fellow fans. See you next time.